of poison. Kick your pace of poison.
The Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week brings us to St. Catharines and Canada Games Arena, where if blue is your favorite color, you've come to the right place. St. Catharines in double blue, as are the undefeated 4-0 Mimico Mountaineers. 1-6 the record for the Athletics since the opening game win against Brampton. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside the JVI Sports Network and my partner Jonathan Donville, and it's pretty much go time in the season for St. Catharines, but a big task ahead of them tonight with Mimico.
Well, it's been an interesting season so far for St. Catharines, Matty. You mentioned they're 1-5. They won their first game. They've lost 5 straight. But after tonight, they'll have played 7 games. They'll have played 2 against tied for top-ranked Mimico, 2 against tied for top-ranked Beaches. They've also played Orangeville in there. And then I believe they've also played 2 against Brampton, who, as we speak right now, is 4th in the table. So they've played almost all of their games against the best teams in the OJLL. A big one for them again tonight with Mimico. Obviously, they'd love to win, but the schedule will get easier from here on out. They won't have to see any of the top teams throughout the stretch run and the rest of the summer. And again, Matty, 8 of the 11 teams make the playoffs in the OJLL. So you don't have to get all the way to the top. You just got to make sure you have a ticket to the dance.
That's what they've done the last couple of years, have St. Catharines, who go left to right in the lighter of the 2 blues. Working away from Ollie Vagno, who returns to the net after back-to-back starts for Ty Wilson. Gavin Howard quickly putting it into the corner through the stick of Colton Armitage. As you would expect, it finds Keaton Zavitz, his shot forced high. As that's off a stick. Now Christian Lefebvre working through the middle, sidearm shot. Nate Whittam, who is a perfect 3-0 with an .830 goals against average, got his first save out of the way.
Lefebvre's an important player for the Athletics. When we called that first game in Brampton, Matty, he was special in that game. Really was the difference for them. Zavitz has been solid all year. The secondary scoring is kind of the name of the game for St. Catharines, and Lefebvre is a guy who's got to do it.
Keep your eye on Finn Thompson tonight. 6 goals away from the all-time, 6 points rather, tying the all-time Mimico record. In the orange gloves there, trying to set up Justin Lee, although some good defense from the Athletics didn't go.
Matty, talking to the Mimico coaching staff before this game, they noted that starts have really been their kind of Achilles heel throughout this season. They're 4-0 in these games, but they've been outscored 9-0. The first, through those games, they haven't been leading in any of them. They've been down by a combined 9-0 throughout those games before they've scored their first goal. So looking to really kind of buck that trend here. Not easy circumstances. They arrived about an hour before the game here after a little bit of traffic getting out here, so not the normal pregame setup for them, but maybe that helps them kind of find a flow a little bit quicker and buck this trend of the slow starts.
Henry Campanini called in the crease on Mimico's first real sustained possession. Out to the outside, Zachary Toll, one of the youngsters on this Athletics team, playing his second season. We'll give off here, and an outside shot comes from Noah Snyder, handled by Whittam, and he's looking out and down floor for Tavares. Justin Tavares snaking through his shot, handled by Vagno.
Smart play there by Aaron Taguri, setting the pick rather than trying to be an outlet for Tavares. That's because they had 2 left-handers going down the floor. Taguri and Tavares are guys who are going to get called a lot in this game. They find their way into plays. They like to mix it up. They play a tough brand of lacrosse. Those are 2 guys who really kind of stir the drink for Mimico.
Toll gives off here to Zavitz. His bounce shot sails wide. Your officials, by the way, Sebastian Baudouin, Jean Zabo, Joel Furman. The 3 in black. And the last time these 2 teams faced each other in Mimico about a week and a half ago, best performance of the season for the Athletics, 14-13. As you said, Mimico had to come from behind and had to pressure that offense all game long to sneak out that victory. Here's Waters working through, and Mark Waters continues his hot game of the week streak.
Maddie, we called the game in Orangeville on Friday between Mimico, and I mentioned how guys like Waters have been in college strength conditioning programs. This is kind of a good example. You're going to see him get the top side and then just muscle his way through to the net, relentlessly seeking that top side here and scores, and finally for Mimico an early lead.
Yeah, they lead 1-0, as you said. Starts have been an issue. As St. Catharines comes back now. Dudemain and Moran Weeks on Waters' first goal. 10 on the shot clock here. As Ty Stainhouse can't pick up. Loose ball push, and the Athletics will give it back to Mimico.
You know, two of the stories of this OJLL season, Maddie, especially as we get down towards the end of the year, the two front-running teams so far, Beaches and Mimico, as Ryan Steins gets a good look here. Nice save for St. Catharines, but Beaches Mimico with the two best players in the league, Finn Thompson, Willem Firth. Firth a lefty, Thompson a righty. I think one of the storylines to watch in the whole league is how well the opposite sides can play. So how well the Mimico lefties can play and how well the Beaches righties can play. If you're looking at the scoring, Beaches righty, Greg Palmer's right at the top. Right. Guys like Dudemain, Waters right there as well. That's what makes these teams deep. You have the star power, and then you have guys who are going to get clean looks because of the attention that those players draw. They need to make them pay. Obviously a good start for Mimico and Waters in this one.
Good example of the summer crease roll there for Zachary Toll, reaching in to bat that one out of the crease, called on the violation. Isaiah Moran Weeks will sidestep his way across the restraining line. Passes back to Waters. Now Finn Thompson has it. Shoots past traffic, a bouncer in on Vagno. Rebound to Justin Lee. His one-hand shot sails wide. Defender without a stick now. Alex Roussel back to it. And he shot off the end glass, but Thompson across the restraining line to pick up. Waters, big screen in front, as it comes back to Lee. His shot blocked there by Ethan Fisher.
Good stop at the end for St. Catharines, but that's a good shift from Justin Lee and Alex Roussel. Those two righties working to open up space for Thompson, picking up loose balls, earning extra possessions, a couple good looks. That's what that Mimico staff is going to be looking for from those guys.
And look out down floor, clean face-off win, and not far enough for Jordan Vincent to do anything with. So he waits for Dudemain and company. 5 minutes gone, five gone in this first period. Just the one goal already, trying to work a two-man game are Mimico. The return pass to Lee didn't work. He's hard after his man down in the corner. And all of that on the Athletics shot clock. Only 8 to get it across center. And good work done by Justin Lee as he was all over his man, making sure he ate up most of that clock.
Couple good looks for Campaniti already in this game. Haven't been able to catch him, but one of the two American players, we highlighted him on Friday, along with Ryan Stein. So it's a pretty good feel for that two-man game, working with Dudemain. By my notes, that's two Georgetown Hoyas going to work together. They've had pretty good chemistry here so far.
Rousseau shoots past the screen and scores.
This is one, Maddie, when you look back at the film, you're going to highlight the play of Justin Lee to cause the turnover that ends up leading to this goal. Roussel, I think the key to this goal is you see him look like he's going to go over the top with the shot, and then he kind of hitches here and shoots right around his defender. That's just a seeing eye shot, bouncer to the top corner, as we've highlighted throughout the summer, one of the prettiest shots in the game. The old expression, let your stick have eyes. That's a good example. He reaches around his defender. His stick can see the goal. The goalie can't necessarily see his stick.
So 2-0 for Mimico now as Toll brings it up and across center. You know, you keep saying Finn Thompson and Willem Firth, the two best players in the league. I think Joey Spallina started to disagree with you with about 8 points in his last couple games. You want to talk a high-powered offense. Got a pretty good one in Orangeville.
No doubt. He deserves it to be in that list. Will McLeod from Burlington's right up there. Will Sheehan from Oakville. A lot of high scorers this year in the OJLL. I think maybe Firth and Thompson are just kind of in a little bit of a class of their own, but there's obviously a ton of really good players.
Dudemain cross floor. Thompson finds a man cutting through Campanini. That one bounces in and out of the stick. Then he goes for the one-hand chop, turns it into a two-hander. No call as Noah Simpson runs it across center. Simpson finds a man off the bench, Carson Robbins, and Thompson caught back on defense. Did well to close the shooting lane there. Noah Snyder. Cross floor to Lefebvre. Christian Lefebvre drives. Whittem wasn't sure where it was initially after making the save, but Robbins brings it down. Back up top, Snyder, his shot. Bounced off a defender, and now Mimico finally do pick it up. That was extended pressure from the Athletics offense, something we haven't really seen this season.
Yeah, that's a good shift for them. 2 good looks at it. Lefebvre has had 2 good looks so far in this game. That's a good sign for the Athletics. Obviously, you'd rather catch them, but you'll take the good looks.
Moran Weeks back here to Ryan Steins. Steins facing a double team. St. Catharines lead turns and fires. Handled there by Vagno, and the rebound picked up by Isaac Prantera. Cross center, he'll leave for his captain, Zavitz.
Steins has got to keep an eye on throughout the summer. A-Sun Player of the Year this year at Utah, was a member of the Utah team that went to the NCAA tournament, up for the first time, playing box lacrosse. It takes some players a little bit of time to figure it out up here. Even great players like CJ Kirst, who came up last summer, was very good in the playoffs. Took him a little bit to get going.
A good move and then a big hit that's going to draw a penalty. Our first one of the game coming here to Mimico, and it's a high stick. Huge one coming out of the corner.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of argument here. What's going to get called most times?
Yeah, initially it was clean into the chest, but then rode up into the face mask. So, as we said, veteran officiating crew out there tonight. And a power play chance for the Athletics. Working it through the righties so far. Double screen. That shot from up top from Toll bounced off the end boards. McIsaac picks it up, and Mountaineers clear center and slow things down. Finn Thompson to the outside. No sense of urgency here with 1 minute and 10 seconds away from the midway point of the period. Shots actually in-house favoring St. Catharines, 7-6. Here's Steins from the outside. Interference call. Takes it away from Mimico as the defender had his stick ripped out of his hands.
Yeah, just being in the arena, man, it seems like Mimico has had the ball a lot more. It seems like the flow of the action's been going a lot more to the other end. But only 7-6, actually 7-6 for the Athletics in-house in terms of shots.
Halfway through the power play of St. Catharines, all high right now before the shot from Gavin Howard gets through. Whittem controls the rebound and looks up to Tavares, who's waiting at center floor.
Good angle there by Whittem. Stepped out, cut down the angle on Howard, and just let it hit him in the chest. That's how you draw it up if you're a goaltender.
Caponini, 35 seconds left to go here in the power play. All the way to the outside. Steins by himself. Wanted the ball there, just avoiding the holding call was Ethan Fisher. Down to the crease, and that took a chop into the face mask. McIsaac, we're going to hit the slash to even it up.
Good effort here by Dudemain, just kind of playing through the situation. Obviously, your primary goal here is to let the penalty run out, but plays through the situation, ends up making a pretty good hesitation move. Draws the penalty, and now Mimico has a decision to make. We're 4-on-4 for 20 seconds. They could wait for the late power play. It looks like they're going to play the 4-on-4.
So Julian Race to the penalty box. Roussel will give it back to Moran Weeks. Up top. Still with it now. Gives it off. Dudemain, a hard shot. Vagno made the save just as the penalty expires to Mimico. So their power play now with 1:35 as we pass the halfway mark of the first.
Look for Thompson to be aggressive as a shooter on these power plays.
He's the man up top here. Hard pass down to the corner. Thompson went straight down the pipe and was found on the give and go. Vanyo had to be solid there.
Another good play from Justin Lee there, earning another extra possession. He's been really good in this game.
Thompson to Dudemain, shoots and scores.
Give credit to my PLL coach, Matty. Jim Mitchell at Princeton, he says when the ball is loose in the offensive zone, that's a great time to score goals. Lee earns him an extra possession in the corner, up to Thompson, over to Dudemain, and goes with a twister to the short side. Ground balls equal goals in the offensive zone. Loose balls. We're in Canada, loose balls.
And that's the first point of the game for Finn Thompson. Now 5 back of the Mimico all-time record. Roussel on the run off the face-off. His shot partially blocked. He's going to roll to the outside boards where Race, out of the penalty box, picks it up.
Race is a nice player. Race is the kind of guy that's on winning teams at the OJLL level. One of the faster players you're going to see in the circuit this summer. Makes a lot of little plays. And as we saw in that Brampton game, can really get up and score as well. You know, the transition game hasn't been able to get going here for St. Catharines. Maybe that's a way they can unlock some better looks at this defense.
I believe that was Jacob Keller, a nice slide and the help after the first man got beat by Ty Steinhaus, and a nice save as well for Whittam. Mimico with possession again, though, as Moran Weeks brings it in. 3 straight so far here in the period. Pass intended for Thompson, bounces high and into the safety netting. Eight minutes to go here in the period. Shots still favoring the Athletics, 10-9. As Noah Snyder brings it in. Snyder to the outside. It's returned back Christian Lefebvre. Left it there for Gavin Howard on the pick and roll. Howard gets drilled in behind the net. And then an extra shot to the Mimico player. They're going to call a back in, I think, between Aiden McDonnell and Nate Whittam. Thought the hit was going to give it to Mimico, but the Athletics with a quick shot. And then taken away from Noah Snyder. There's Angus McDonnell in behind everybody. And couple of fakes before bringing it in. Draft pick of the Dallas Stars, as we told you last time. We were on the air. His return to the Mimico lineup since the modified season in 2021. Played his entire minor career, as a couple provincial gold medals to his name. A couple MVPs as well. Zach Toll. Nice little two-man game. That two-man game's working for St. Catharines tonight. Just can't get it past Whittam at the back end.
Yeah, Whittam's been sharp. He really feels like the X factor, or an X factor. So we already talked about kind of depth scoring, that sort of thing. But for Mimico, obviously it's going to be a high-powered offense. You know, when he's really been good this year, they've been really, really hard to stop, and that'll stay true throughout the rest of the summer.
Dudemain from the corner, wanted top spot. Angle taken away, only 5 in the shot clock. Cutting through. They score! What another nifty little play in the middle to get the ball on the crease, and Mimico are up by 4.
Watch this little back cut by Steins. He basically dodges his defender without the ball, gets underneath, catches it, and then as he's kind of going across the crease, reaches back over. Like I said, Matty, the boxer experience will grow. He's a talented guy, very talented guy. There's been a lot of great players who have come up and take a little bit of time, and I'm not even saying he has been taking time, but just expect him to get better throughout the rest of the summer.
Set play off the draw, looking for Colton Armitage. Went through a couple of offensive players there, but eventually skipped away.
And the nice thing for Mimico is because they have those other guys with more experience, they can kind of afford to let Steins learn, and they have good teachers for him. You know, he's playing with 4 smart coaches with smart players. So he's got time to figure it out before the playoffs.
Moran Weeks back down towards the corner. Big shot here. Low one from Dudemain. Rebound came out, and what do we got here? A penalty for Mimico in through the middle. I believe this is Waters.
Moran Weeks is just an impactful player, Maddie, for Mimico. Whenever something good happens, Dudemain had a good look there. It's usually because number 12 is working off ball. He just makes a lot of good stuff happen, including right here. Sets a good pick. Dudemain gets wide open, and then Waters is going to come in late with the high stick.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to get called every single time. And
That's a few non-arguments.
they've called 5
tonight,
minutes for less than that, too. That's certainly true.
Seen a couple majors this week in the OJLL. They are pretty rare if you're new to the summer game, but probably could have made a case there. But it is a penalty. Vanyo went to get a drink of water, and they restarted. He was half undressed. No helmet, no gloves, no stick.
Matty, to the point about the 5 minutes, an obvious rule difference between the OJLL and the NLL is the NLL, you can review them. So I think this year we saw quite a few in the NLL because they know that they can kind of review it. So if you call the 5 minutes, then you give yourself the benefit of maybe having it be reviewable, and a lot of those do get knocked down to 2 minutes. So I think it's a little bit more risky. Or less, yep. Obviously, no video review at all in the OJ, let alone 4 penalties.
Whittam went to throw the big screen, and I mean, if he connected, that was going to be major contact behind the net. But St. Catharines going to call timeout here. This is, I mean, a Steve Toll special, the mid-period timeout call.
I like it in this situation. You know, I think too often, how often, Manny, do we see timeouts with like 6 seconds left when you can't really get anything good? Here you have a power play for another minute and a half, so you kind of take a breath. You could draw up 2 separate plays here because you're going to get at least 2 more possessions. Because you're taking the timeout, you probably want to get something quick here, try to maximize your time. I don't hate it. I don't know if it always needs to be in the dying moments of the quarter, especially a 6-on-5, especially at the OJLL where you can't dunk the ball from behind and you can't put someone back there. 6-on-5 is a hard place to score. You could argue it makes more sense to do it on the power play where you have time to draw something up. On the flip side, the one thing you do when you give the timeout is you give the defense time to draw up something junky. So that's why you see shuts come out a lot on the 6-on-5. So don't be surprised if Mimico maybe tries to jump a pass here or shut Zavitz off, do something kind of junky. The timeout gives the defense time to make a plan as well.
That'll be a 5-on-4 set. Started up top. Shot clock at 24. Toll taking top spot. Stainhouse down by the crease. The double up pick that they like to run here in St. Catharines, and Toll got stuffed. Still turns around and scores. What a pretty goal from Zach Toll.
Yeah, Zach's a talented young player. Played his high school year this year at Culver, heading, I believe, to the University of Vermont. I think the year after next. We've seen this double pick action a lot throughout the summer. Mimico basically blows up. They read it really well, and then just slippery by Zach here. And the key is really when he gets his hands free here, kind of a twister, not really a twister, just overhand. Just a really quick release. I don't think Whittam was quite ready for him to kind of get out of that double team and get the ball off. But it doesn't matter how it goes in. St. Catharines really needed that goal, and obviously the timeout call pays off.
When it works, he looks like a genius. There's been times where it hasn't worked, but this time Steve Toll proving why he's one of the better junior A coaches around. In behind the net. Face-off win, big pick there from Lefebvre. It comes back to the near side. Zavitz shot off the end boards. I believe this is Tavares is going to give chase. Being chased down by Ari Stainhouse, who deflected that shot. Still bounced around in the crease, though. And that was anxious moments, but how about the play from Ari Stainhouse that brought the fans and the bench to life?
Yeah, you mentioned at the end, bringing the bench to life. That's the kind of play that gets you going here.
The intended pass floats through in on Whittam, who I think was just in position for that to bounce off and wasn't even aware that was going to be a shot.
We saw Tavares, Matty, 2 summers ago playing primarily offense as a younger player, a call-up, coming out the back door. Now he's been leaking on all of these possessions, trying to get out in transition, has missed breakaways by just a little bit. If you're St. Catharines, you got to find 11. He's going to go.
Waters to Steins to Thompson, and Vagno there to take it away. And again, Mimico stuffing. No breakout here for the Athletics. Thought they were going to get called for the 8-second count. Mimico defender got run over. Look out here, French. Calling French back to the crease, stepping out. Shot there from Howard. Action on both ends of the floor. St. Catharines looking for a rebound with Howard. And finally it rolls to Whittam, who's got a couple Mimico players down floor. One of them is Thompson, the other Dudemain, who stumbles, gets it over to Finn, high pass. And
that pass was gross.
No shot from Henry Capanetti. It went up into the screening, but as if our offense wasn't hard enough to stop. They've got moves like that.
It really is hard to tell between these two jerseys, especially in transition, when it starts getting a little helter-skelter. I think there's some confusion on the St. Catharines bench. A couple Mimico guys were cherry-picking, and it almost seemed like they were their own players. Just kind of unusually close, these two uniforms.
Saw a couple fans telling their defense to get back. Here's Keller. His shot handled by Vagno, who has been busy of late. Mimico player knocked down. Steenhouse runs it up over center. Ari going to stay out on offense after flipping to his captain, Zavitz. Now Toll. Only goal scorer so far through the majority of this period as it comes to the outside. Robbins. Toll's got to chase down the errant pass. All the way up top over everybody to Zavitz again. Zavitz wants to shoot. Lefebvre popped out of the pile. Shot does come wide of the mark. It's going to drop down into the stick of Aiden McDonnell, and he's leading the rush back the other way. Got blown up after the shot. That was wide, and another one. That's going to bring the sticks out on the home bench.
Good hustle there for St. Catharines, but they're still giving up 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s and breakaways way too often. They're getting bailed out here, but they got to figure out this transition defense before it's too late.
Strong period from Ollie Vagno despite the score. Strong last 5 minutes or so. Colton Armitage bouncing around outside, turned right into a hit. Ended up falling, picked up his own loose ball as it comes back up top. Bouncing around before it's picked up by Taguri. Aaron Taguri backs into pressure.
Oh, I don't think he realized how open he was there.
Had Cole Begley as well. They'll now give to Dudemain, and 3 Mountaineers run back to the bench to get Capanini, Roussel, and Thompson out there.
Another good example, though, Zach Toll makes a great one-handed check, but if he doesn't land that check, it's a 2-on-1, 3-on-1 again for Mimico.
Thompson, shot stuffed, and then tried to get in the way of Mitchell Armstrong. Philadelphia Wings draft pick, so he couldn't run out in transition.
Might have a hidden ball on here.
Inside the final minute, it was in the stick of Lefebvre on the near side. Now Toll's got it. Back for Lefebvre again. No room to shoot. Steps back. Then a block from the defender. And Thompson in behind everybody. Vagno's going to bail out his offense.
Well, I can't. I'm not going to say it again, Matty, but they're getting bailed out here on the backside of these transition opportunities, especially when Finn Thompson is playing defense. You know, you got to have some eyes that he's going to be trying to go the other way.
How long has he been on the floor, though? He's back for a second defensive shift. 20 seconds away from the end of the period. Remember, the Athletics don't have a timeout here in the period. Thompson nearly picked that off as it went over to Toll. His shot handled by Whittam. And 11.4 to go. It will be a timeout for Dean George and company over on the Mimico sideline.
I'm just saying, Matty, I'm on team no timeout because, especially there, they had Thompson breaking out. The chaos is good for the offense. When defenses get set, they're generally better. I feel this way kind of in field lacrosse too. I might have just let that play. And you have Thompson on the floor already. Something crazy can happen. I think craziness is sort of better for the offense sometimes. That's my 2 cents on this. Which is way more than anyone asked for already. So I'll stop it right there. But we'll see. Tanner Thompson got the clipboard here. You can see him on the broadcast. If we zoom in anymore, might be giving their play away there. Good shot by our camera crew.
Guy who scored a few big goals for the Mimico Double Blue in his time as well. Now the offensive coach. Already seen one other Thompson brother, Hudson, get drafted in the NLL. Tanner drafted in his grad year. I have a feeling Finn might go fairly early when he graduates.
Yep, Keaton as well.
The end of this season. Yep, Keaton. Mimico's answer to Burlington's English brothers, I guess. Here comes the play. Waters running it up. Whittam is on the bench. Thompson down into the corner. All the way back up top. Dudemain rushes out and scores. You can see on screen with .2 to go in the period, Mimico with another to lead by 4.
Yeah, whatever the opposite of broadcasters' jinx is here, I jinx myself, I guess. Pretty good play. I think Dudemain might have been supposed to run through that, but he just hunts the top side, shoots on the run. It's a really nice shot. That kind of opened up because St. Catharines shut Finn Thompson off that, really tried to get him out of the play. And like I talked about at the open of the period, if those lefties can hit shots, it's going to be really tough.
So almost all Mimico here in the first period. They lead 5-1 after the first. You're watching the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week. It's powered by Gatorade. We'll bring you back to St. Catharines after this.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat. Carbs to help fuel your working muscles. And fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
Get ready, Ottawa. Box lacrosse is returning to its Canadian roots and giving the nation's capital the team they deserve.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Teams are returning to the floor here for the second period. Mimico lead 5-1 after that first. 4 points for Lucas Dudemain, including 2 goals. Mark Waters has 3 with 1 goal. Ryan Steins, Alex Roussel, the other goal scorers, and Finn Thompson 1 point just in that first period. He is now 5 away from tying the all-time Mimico record.
Tough way to end that last period, Matty, for St. Catharines. They kind of battled back a little bit, got that nice goal from Zach Toll. Then to let that 6-on-5 goal up is a bit of a killer at the end of the half. Defensive transition is going to be the story of this half for St. Catharines especially. Mimico is going to be leaking out. They're going to have guys looking to run. They're going to have guys looking to get off that front gate and score. If they give up as many opportunities as they did last period, it's not going to be a good outcome.
Alex Roussel pushes the face-off in towards St. Catharines territory. Remind you that the jerseys are somewhat similar. Darker blue for Mimico, going left to right. Here in the period, Dudemain into the corner for Moran Weeks. Waits for Thompson to come off the bench and snipe the corner.
This is filthy. So, Matty, we've been talking about twisters a lot already this summer. So, Thompson is going to bring the stick over as if he's going to the top left corner. You're going to see him come right off the bench late, doesn't get picked up. He's going to pull the stick as if he's going to the top left corner and just snap the wrist back to the top right corner. You can see Vagno leaning to that top left corner. He looks a little bewildered after the goal, both by letting Thompson get that open and then throws him a bit of a curveball there at the end.
So give Thompson his second point of the game. Dudemain and Moran Weeks, that's 3 assists now for Isaiah Moran Weeks, and an 8-second count here against Mimico.
Yeah, I want to mention, too, those shots are harder in the summer because the nets are a little bit smaller than NLL nets. So that's one of the advantages of the big NLL goals is it does give you a little bit more room to throw those kind of change-ups or to try to move the goalie a little bit. You have a little bit more width there. It's really tough to throw those kind of floaters in the summertime, but guys like Thompson and others around the league are pretty good at it.
Little floating pass that got through there to Whittam. Looked like Steve Toll wanted them to slow things up. Shots now favoring Mimico, 19-16 as we're early on here in the second period. Dudemain to the corner, Moran Weeks. Caponiti sets the screen. He'll go to the far side. Big shot coming from Lee. That hit, not sure what that hit. A big sound anyways. Perhaps the face mask of Vagno.
I think it went right off the crossbar. Lee has the ability to get that stick way up in the air. He's probably 3'6'4". When he throws an overhand shot and get the top of his stick way up in the air, kind of reach it over Vagno from way outside. Doesn't quite get it down enough off the crossbar.
Over the top, Ty Stainhouse rips that one off his own teammate's bucket, and it bounces back the other way for McIsaac on the run. How many breakaway saves is that from Vagno already in this game?
Quite a few. Too many for St. Catharines.
Dudemain off the bench. Back down into the corner. Big high step from Waters. Ball off the boards. Ends up going to Ryan Steins. Now to Thompson. Quick release and a shrug save from Vagno.
Good save from Vagno. That's the other thing about those floaters as St. Catharines has transition here.
They did, looking for Lefebvre. Zavitz keeps the play alive, and then pass too far. McDonnell, same story back the other way, looking for Jacob Keller. Keller trying to slow up St. Catharines long enough to get the 8 count. Then as they came over center, Tavares there to knock it free. Justin Tavares had help coming off the bench, and Angus McDonnell. Those two can't connect. Lefebvre. Over center. They'll slow it down with Zavitz now. Keaton Zavitz. Just saw the top of the head of Carson Robbins. Now him and Howard aren't sure who's going to pick this ball up. And it's going to be Aaron Taguri from Mimico.
Yeah, no surprise there. Taguri always coming out with those tough plays. Matt, it almost seemed like the players weren't sure who was on which team in some of these loose ball battles.
Thompson or Roussel playing catch over there in the corner. Back for Waters. That shot sailed high over Vagno. Thompson is bouncing around in front of him. Now loose. Who's going to pick it up? Finally there for Roussel, who goes behind his back, and it's picked off by St. Catharines. Quick off the bench, Toll scores.
It's not going to be on the camera, Matty. This play was really started with Ethan Fisher, number 15 for St. Catharines. I think we're going to get it right at the bottom of our screen. You see 15 right here. Hustles as hard as he can to the back door. Gets Zach Toll out the front. Race, as we mentioned, one of the fastest players in the league. And then a good look, a good shot by our camera crew there. Giving a good look at Zach Toll. Just finding that sweet spot right off the hip. That's where coaches tell you to shoot. It's the smallest part of the goaltender. And also the kind of hardest for them to move, right in the hips there.
Gives Toll his second goal, both of them from St. Catharines, coming out of the stick of number 2.
Scored by number 2, Zach Toll.
Mimico still with possession, however,
Toll from Simpson. Time of the goal.
as Steins puts it to the outside. Waters back near side. Campanini turned off pressure. Back it comes for Waters. His shot just wide, right at the shot clock.
A little bit of momentum here now for St. Catharines. You can see the bench has a little bit of juice. Kind of a team goal. Those transition goals are team goals. You get a stop, you get someone flying to the bench, someone getting off the front door. Everyone feels good about those transition off the front door.
Howard on the crease. They're going to say it's a good goal.
Yeah, on cue, Matty, right? Get a little bit of momentum going. All of a sudden, everyone's got a little bit more pep in their step here. I think this is going to be Toll on the assist. Yeah, carries over, throws back, and then he could have shot it here. Instead, he kind of keeps going, reaches across the crease. A hidden play. I had that as Colin French on the goal. Try to get some confirmation on that. Yeah, it looks like it is French. But just making the tough play. Could have kind of taken a low-angle shot, makes a tough play, takes the check, seals his stick, and reaches it for a goal.
It indeed is French. Toll gets the assist for 3 points off 3 goals. And how about French? That's 7 goals in his last 3 games, including coming off a hat trick against Orangeville. A 4-point night for Colin French. Quick stick Thompson, and Vagno came across.
Nice save by Vagno there. He's been very sharp in this game. That's a nice one, crease to crease. Post to post, I should say.
Crease to crease would be fun to see, though. I'm not going to lie. I think the shot clock count is down on the floor with the officials, and it's going to be beat by St. Catharines.
Another expression we've used throughout the summer so far, Maddie, win the whistle. In this case, win the lack of whistle. Mimico thinks there's a whistle coming, a bit of miscommunication with the shot clock. Mimico just stops playing, I think. St. Catharines plays through it. And then almost like a football concept there. The Mimico defender's actually in good position, but he's not looking at the ball. If you don't have eyes on the quarterback, you're open. So just rips it through in a nice crisp stick.
Gavin Howard on the goal. And runs like this have been hard to come by for St. Catharines this season. They've got 3 goals now in a span of about 1 minute and 40 seconds. Ari Steinhaus facing a double team. Roussel nearly pushed over and back. Still has it, however. He'll put the swim move on Nathan Fear, who last time we were in this building, we told you has yet to miss a junior game in 3 OJLL seasons. That streak continues.
I think Coach Toll is minus a pen after that turnover.
We lost one, did we? RIP. Out from the corner, Dudamine catches and shoots and scores.
And that's why he's upset, Matty, because it's a huge play to win that face-off. Obviously, St. Catharines has a run going. Like you said, been hard to come by. Get the turnover, and then it goes the other way. This is a good play at the end of this by Thompson. Just a little bit of a cross pick here. Thompson kind of seals 2 men. My coach, Tracy Koleski, in the wintertime, he likes to say the job of the picker is to get 2 people to play you. That's what Thompson does there. He draws 2 men, opens up Lucas Dudemain for the shot, and he makes no mistake.
Any other coaches you want to shout out before we go too far? Trying to get that floor time?
We got 33 minutes, Matty. We got lots of time.
Okay. Stainhouse, cross floor.
I had to get the TK mention in after the talking about Toller ripping his pen at the glass there. Try to even out my floor time.
Zavitz picked off as they went back to the crease. Don't think we didn't notice the one with the PLL coaches in the first period. Here's Thompson.
If you got one-liners, I'm going to remember them. That's silly lacrosse acronyms. That sticks in my brain.
Dudemain for Waters as Mimico sets up again. Here's Thompson. Finn Thompson cross floor, low shot. Waters gonna say that one was wide of everything, and it's a shot clock violation. Again, no whistle. So St. Catharines plays through. Zavitz around the back, finds Toll. What a sequence there for St. Catharines, but Mimico able to control the rebound.
Sick pass. I thought he was shooting that thing for sure. And if he was, heads up, if he was going to pass, I didn't think it was going to be behind the back. Puts it right on the money. Another good look for Toll, who's been aggressive off that front gate.
Ethan Fisher, healthy run at Jordan Vincent. Here's Finn Thompson again. Up for Waters. Side steps to restraining line. 5 on the shot clock for Mimico. Isaiah Moran-Weeks shed his man, took it to the crease, and it's caught up in Vanier, and look out, transition back the other way perhaps, and in and out of the stick of Sutter Pilon. Angus McDonnell there to stuff that play.
Good try for St. Catharines. That was a pretty good pass, just couldn't quite get the grip.
McDonnell was in a shoving match with a defender and then ran right through Pilon. Surprised this possession allowed to continue. Here's Lee. He'll give to Dudemain that patented 24 shot as he came around. And then Waters put a cross check into the hips of a player who's down. I think Mark Waters is going to go here. I'm stopping short of calling it dangerous, but I mean, they hurt. And they're penalties.
Gonna wait for the replay on this one.
Yep, here it comes.
Yeah, that hurts.
Base of the kidney pads, and
yep, that hurts.
Every reffing clinic I've ever been in, they've said, that play, there's only one reason why you're doing it. It's not to get the ball. So it will be a penalty for Waters, and you could see him tied up in a battle most of that offensive set.
Big moment in this game here. 3-goal difference. St. Catharines can score. They get, an opportunity to get right back in this game. If Mimico gets the next goal, you want to keep it to 3 if you're St. Catharines.
Far side off the post. And Mimico, you can see every time the shot goes, they're holding up athletics players who don't really like it, but Howard, no room to run there. Cross for Steins. I keep wanting to say Sykes, as there's been so many of the Sykes brothers on the team. That's what the name bar looks like from here, but
something about his helmet looks a little bit like Justin Sykes as well. Get those sort of long loops coming off there, straps coming off the back of it. But Matthew and Justin, 2 great players from Mimico, guys I was lucky to play with throughout my career here. Two great people. Justin, a draft pick of Panther City, so looking forward to playing with him now that he's done his collegiate lacrosse at Hofstra, and Matthew playing for the San Diego Seals.
Zavit's low shot kind of fooled everybody as he was all alone on the crease. And then a nice catch from Toll. Wouldn't have been over and back, but it would have allowed Mimico to set up. Here's Toll. Again, no looks it down into the corner. Stainhouse knocked off his feet. Zavitz has it again. Back up top for Toll. Far side, Lefebvre walking in. Whittam lost it. And it was down by his feet towards that goal line.
Aaron Taguri just choosing to not play the ball on that last possession as the St. Catharines player walked in, holding his ground in the crease, taking away the far side of the net, makes it really hard to shoot. It's a tactic you see every NLL team use it now in junior. We've been talking about it all summer, Maddie. He's just waiting there, hoping to block the shot, leaves the shooter with very few options.
Steins from the outside, running out of time on the shot clock, couldn't get one away. And Waters, sounded like Waters, did leave the box, went straight to his bench, and Mimico turned it back the other way. Big, hard battle for this loose ball. 3 Mimico players in there against 1. I believe that was Logan Fletcher all by himself. Cole Begley. He'll flip it to Justin Lee, who looks off Vincent. Goes to Finn Thompson off the crossbar. Thompson's ball ends up in the beer garden. Thompson's had his chances tonight. That's twice he's found iron.
Has that same floater to the top right corner.
Cross for Dudemain. Waters shot after he shed his man. Now close to the back in, and they do get it. And a big celebration from Dudemain. Thompson, Waters, Dudemain in the corner. Fired up after that physical back in call. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take the shot here, and proves me wrong with the quick stick for the goal.
Another one kind of like in the first period when Justin Lee forced the turnover. You know, one of the areas you really notice the size of guys like Dudemain and Waters is in the riding game, and then not a whole lot to see here. You're going to see Lee work his way down the backside. Oh, actually, that's a nice look. Thompson actually sheds his guy, gets open. The defender steps up to stop Thompson. Dudemain sees right through to the back pipe to Lee, who makes a nice finish. Dudemain, a very efficient game. Not a lot of wasted steps in his game. A good example there. You know, just waiting for what he wanted to see and then makes a good pass. Likes to shoot out of those scenarios a lot too. Not a lot of wasted movement. He's not running around. He's not putting himself out of position. Just kind of waits for his reads and his looks. And it's very effective. And one of the things that allows him to do that is the size. He can take defenders. You know, he can kind of hold his ground there. And that's why he's been effective with Waters and Moran Weeks and Campaniti.
Zavitz up top, outside. Pass back intended for Toll. Bounces towards Howard. He's trying the dunk shot, and of course that cylinder rule here in the OJLL. I mean,
testing the rule. You've seen crazier goals be allowed.
Moran Weeks to the outside. Thompson, he goes for the bounce shot. Thought he was going to come down with his own and forces himself in front of Ethan Fisher. What a tiny little play there, but otherwise, like you said, that was going to be 2-on-1 with Thompson, the only defender back, and he forces the over and back call.
Yeah,
Noah Snyder on the run. His low shot got through to Whittam, who actually poked it out of the crease. And it's going to result in an athletics possession. Another turn and fire from Snyder. And we may have lost another pen. Tonight's game not sponsored by Bic, unfortunately. Steve Toll not happy with that last possession. Dudemain's shot goes off the back of, looked like Waters.
Yeah, that was friendly fire there, I think.
The officials are going to discuss here And this should be St. Catharines' ball. Yes, indeed it is.
Yeah, I think that's the right call there. Looked like he got Waters right in the back.
And credit Waters, who just stood there and soaked it. Made that call harder for the officials than it probably should have been. Lefebvre for Toll. Screen set in front of him. He goes back to the far side. Lefebvre got under his man, and that's going to be a hold on Vincent. Although Lefebvre got it back and then got drilled. Begley's going to go here too.
Great shift by Lefebvre. He's going to draw both of them. Might need an ice pack after this shift, though. He's going to draw a holding penalty on Keller, it looks like. No, on Vincent, excuse me. Holding on Vincent, and then Begley comes through at the end. So the hold is going to be right here, gets him up around the neck. That's going to get called every time. Lefebvre does a good job to keep playing, and then high and late, a Nick Acello special right there.
Mimico penalty to number 23, Cole Begley. 2 minutes for legal cross check. Mountaineers penalty to number 55, Jordan Vincent. 2 minutes for
Speaking of calls that
2 minutes for legal cross check.
could be majors, perhaps that one another kind of borderline. I'm not saying one way or the other, but without a second look. But 5-on-3 now. Safety valve up top will be Stainhouse. Toll. And Howard playing catch with it. It bounces back over the shoulder shot from Gavin Howard. Whittam made the save, and now immediately 2 on the ball. Zavitz is going to win it, but Toll is still tied up. And St. Catharines had already gone off for a partial change, so they couldn't capitalize with a couple guys out of the play. Zavitz straight to the crease. He'll score.
Well, I already mentioned him once, Matty, but like I said, ground balls equal goals in the offensive zone. This starts behind the before this, play. Zavitz makes a great play to earn a loose ball, and then a slick B2B from Toll, and another good reach by Zavitz. Again, trying to get the head of his stick out as far as he can to reach around the goalie. And St. Catharines still has 1:24 left on a 5-on-4 power play. So they have a chance to do more damage here. And they're sticking around. They probably don't feel great about their game throughout most of this contest. Only 8-5, 25, 26 minutes left to play in this one. Very much alive still.
Ben McIsaac pushing the face-off back in St. Catharines territory. And as St. Catharines picks it up, it's the second and final timeout for Steve Toll. Almost the exact same spot that he called it in the first period.
Yeah, the obvious difference on this one is they were about to lose the ball. That was almost like a field lacrosse style where you see teams often take timeouts because of the pressure on the ball. Well, we saw the timeouts, both strategies work last time in the first period. St. Catharines called theirs early, scored on the power play. Mimico called theirs late, scored on the 6-on-5. So we've seen some pretty good plays drawn up. We'll see what they come out with. Last time out of the power play, they did that double screen for the top shooter. We'll see if they go back to that. Obviously, if you're Mimico, that's probably the first thing you're looking for.
A reminder to subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn your notifications on, and it will remind you every time that we're live throughout the entire season. As well, you can download the official OJLL app from your favorite app store for all your standings, stats, scores, and the schedule for the OJLL, which includes a couple games tonight. This one here, however, 8-5. Important power play here for St. Catharines as they go up to Zavitz. Now Toll. A lot of movement so far on that left side of the ball. Zavitz turns and scores. Some traffic in front here, I'm not sure plays a factor, but either way, within 2 now are the Athletics.
Matty, you trip me for name dropping, but I don't care. The best I've ever seen at this shot is Callum Crawford, my teammate for Panthers. So you're going to see Zavitz with a big hitch right here, kind of freezes Whittam and then pumps it to the top left corner. That big kind of hitch get the head and shoulders moving, stick moving, and then hammer it to a spot. I've seen Crawford score that many times, and Zavitz is a good example there.
Anybody you haven't played with?
Lots of guys.
Yeah, okay.
Just a young buck.
St. Catharines starting to feel it here with 5 minutes left in the second period. Back within 2, and for the second time tonight, the timeout works to perfection for Steve Toll. Lefebvre finds his man back, and it's a 1-goal game. Carson Robbins.
It's a game of runs, Matt. We all know that. It's the oldest, saying in lacrosse. Nothing really too crazy here. Robbins is going to come and set a good up pick. It's all about the angles here. Call that usually a bee sting when you set it with kind of your backside, with your hips. Typically that's called a bee sting pick. Robbins, that's what you like to see. The guy setting the pick gets rewarded with the goal. The vast majority of the goals so far for St. Catharines have come from that right side. Toll with a couple, Zavitz with a couple. Good sign for the Athletics to see Robbins get one and just see any of the lefties really get going.
8-7 the score here. Big hit in front of the St. Catharines bench. It'll be a penalty as Taguri went down. Penalty coming up to Mimico, however. Zavitz to the far side, and again, I was going to say that was Taguri, but we get the high stick call.
Yeah, great play here by Ty Steinhaus on St. Catharines. Wins the tough one after on the faceoff. Gets kind of like triple teamed. Looks like it's a bad scenario, but just bigger and stronger than the Mimico player is able to hold them off. Goes for that swim move. Ends up Keller, I believe, gets up in the face. That's a tough play by Ty. Those are the plays that win games here. And this power play has been hot recently to go back to the advantage.
Penalties allowing St. Catharines to get back into this game. Zavitz up top to Toll. Keeping it high so far. There's the screen. Toll with the shot. Shot it wide, and it goes for an over and back.
It was there if he got it on net. That one looked pretty good from up here.
8-7 the score here. Also the same. Toronto Beach is on top right now in the second period on the Burlington Blaze. And 5-3 Oakville over KW. That's your out-of-town scores.
As a reminder, Mimico Beach is the 2 remaining unbeaten teams. Crombie Cup this year. It's going to be pretty electric.
Oof. Far side movement now. Cutter comes through. It's Waters, low shot. And Vagno down to save it. You can see how intense each and every battle is down in the defensive trenches. Ball flipped here to Toll. Halfway through this power play. Toll gives to Zavitz, the most recent goal scorer, now to the far side. Last one to change is Howard. He'll take up space down in the crease. Steinhaus doesn't go there on the crease, though. Is Robbins, and ball down, scoots away, picked up by Mimico. Toll gonna throw the body at Taguri, knocked it free, and they want the 8 count, but picked up by Toll before they can get the whistle.
30 seconds left in the power play, so probably the last look here for St. Catharines. But how many goals have we seen on these ride backs, these offensive zone ground balls?
Here's Zavitz, swim move doesn't work. Goes across to Howard. Now Zavitz gets it back. Howard twists shot and bounces off the board straight to Steinhaus. 4 on the shot clock. Steinhaus with it back, kicked out by Whittam. Toll, rebound picked from the corner. Penalty about to expire. Steve Toll wants him to hold on.
Steinhaus really starting to make an impact on this game.
Zavitz hard shot. Caught against the left foot of Whittam. And Mimico escapes the Athletics power play.
And then throws it right away.
Looking for Dudemain in the corner, and it skipped wide. Closing it on 2 minutes left to go. Athletics now out of timeouts for the game. Mimico took one in the first. Big hit coming here. Angus McDonnell coming in, and a bunch of bodies fall just inside of center as the ball is carried out by Vincent.
Yeah, one thing we have seen, Matty, through these first few games, in the OJLL, Mimico going to be one of the bigger teams, more physical teams. You see it on loose ball plays like that. A lot of older guys. You're going to feel this team when you come up against them in a lot of different ways. And those loose ball examples are a good one.
Here's Waters going to set up the third possession here for Mimico. Waters looks off Thompson, now goes back to Finn. Lee will set the screen. There's the shot and the goal.
So smooth is Finn Thompson. Dudemain and Waters go to work here, and then you're going to see Lee come up and really start working for Finn. Very smooth. Kind of has that Scott Niedermeyer type. Doesn't really ever look like he's expending too much effort, excuse me. I think Willem Firth is like that. I think both those guys are a little bit like Jeff Teed in that sense, where it never looks like they're really in full gear, but they always get open. And then the other thing with Finn, just a lot of different releases. Finds the 5-hole on that one.
Here come Mimico again. A crease call there with McDonnell trailing the play.
That's a huge save by Vanyo. This period has gone very well at this point for the Athletics. And it continues to.
Sure, why not? One more back as they turn transition.
The key here again is shooting through a screen and extending your arms. So you're going to see Zach Toll get the ball here, and then he's going to reach out his arms and try to wrap the ball around his defender. For Whittam, in the goal, you just can't see the ball. You can't see where it's coming out. Shoots it right off that defender's hip. A bonus to that, Matty, defenders hate it when you shoot right off their hip, so that's a bonus for offensive players, but it's very effective. At the junior and NLL levels when the goals get better and it gets harder and harder to score. That's a good way to do it.
Here's Tavares. Sending it back. Roussel the shot. And that is the hat-trick goal for Zach Toll. And coming down, a lot of arms high. I was wondering why that's not a penalty, but the Athletics will bring it down. Chance to tie here in the final 30 seconds. Zavitz, only 10 left on the shot clock though. Captain with it outside. Plays it down for Toll. Was looking for that same shot around the screen. Begley came to take it away from him, and he'll run out of the shot clock and then gets chopped right at the whistle.
Some of the minor St. Catharines players heard my soundbite this week about the having a rivalry with anything from Mimico, and they got their boys back right now.
Mountaineers penalty to number 11, Justin Tavares. 2 minutes for stop.
The advantage of this is St. Catharines doesn't have to wait. They have their goalie in, so it's not like they have to pull their goalie or anything like that at the end of the period. They don't have to wait. I'd expect them to try to go pretty quick here. Maybe hold. I guess they're going to hold for one, which I guess makes sense. You don't give up any transition the other way.
Here's Toll. Stainhouse top spot, cross floor. Howard couldn't hang on. Still loose. Picked up shot. And Whittam right at the buzzer makes the save. Well, we got ourselves a shootout in St. Catharines.
That's almost as good as that period could have possibly gone for St. Catharines. They cut out the mistakes in defensive transition. Vanyo bailed them out a bunch of times at the start. Then they really got rolling. Punished a few reckless plays by Mimico, buried on the power play. We're in store for a fun one here, 20 minutes left.
Comes your way in about 10 minutes. You're watching the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. Game of the week, take a breath and come back. We're fueled by Gatorade.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Get ready, Ottawa. Box lacrosse is returning to its Canadian roots and giving the nation's capital the team they deserve.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
Teams are back on the floor as we get you set for the third period. What a second we had as the teams combined for 11 goals, a 7-4 period on the side of St. Catharines. Something that we really couldn't say, Jonathan, coming into this game that they've done all season long.
No, it's a great sign for the Athletics. Obviously, we're missing some guys. Maddie, at the start of the season, Zach Toll, for example, who's got a hat trick in this game. We're still finishing out his college season at Culver for the first couple of games. And like we said, the strength of schedule for them has been borderline absurd. This is their 5th game against teams currently ranked in the top 3. If you throw in Brampton, I think all of their games this year have been against teams in the top 4 of the standings. So it's going to get easier for the Athletics coming up.
Period starts with Justin Tavares still in the box on account of that high sticking call late in the second period. So an early chance to tie things up perhaps for St. Catharines, who go left to right here in the third. Up top around the back, Zavitz ends up with the shot. Justin Lee got to the ball first, but now it's McDonnell. Aiden McDonnell gaining the possession. He'll wait for Dudemaine to cross center. 3 goals and 5 assists through the first 2 periods for Lucas Dudemaine so far.
I think if you're Mimico, the message at the intermission there is let's just wipe that out. Let's just try to forget about it, move on, get this kill, and get this game going again in the right direction. And that really means transition for them. When they were getting out and running, they were having success, winning offensive loose balls, things like that. They're having success, and you got to stay out of the box. That's really been the biggest thing that's really hurt them in this game.
Another shot there from Dudemaine. Lee may have got away with a high stick that drew the attention of Steve Toll and others. Still 30 seconds left on the power play. Now Stainhouse taking top spot. Works away off center. Was leaving the spot open there for Zavitz. They go back down to the crease where Howard will tie the game.
Good, how are you? I was looking at Coach Toll here, Maddie. I don't think they ran the play right. He was upset. And then they just sling a feed to the backside. You're going to see Zach Toll look in the middle and just sling it back there. That's Gavin Howard on the goal. Another power play goal for the Athletics. That's really been the story of this game.
And Toll gets his 7th point of the game. Howard, his 2nd goal comes on the power play, the one that ties it up. Brand new game with 18:25 to go. Zavitz has it on the outside. Toll will set the screen. Here's Lefebvre off the bench, circling the crease there. Colton Armitage back up top. No shot. Still in the stick of French, and now comes back to the near side. The shot bounces down into the stick of Jacob Keller, who crosses center.
Keller, guys, his first game back this year from his academic commitments. Mimico staff had some good things to say about him before the game. A guy who's going to settle in here throughout the rest of the summer, be a big part of this Mimico team.
Not often you see an American who's going to room with a Canadian get back before the guy he's going to room with, but supposedly him and Ryan Steins playing Big Brother this summer. Holding call coming here to the Athletics. Ari Steinhaus in the crease.
I was wondering if we're going to see one there after some of the whistles we've seen against Mimico. Not overly surprised. St. Catherine's not going to be super pumped about it. Not super surprised. We've seen some of these holding. Once you get up in that neck area, Matty, you're going to get called most times.
St. Catherine's penalty, number 93, Ari Steinhaus. 2 minutes for holding.
Also a late arm from the official, too. Kind of looked at it a little bit, and then once the dust settled, put it high. This one bounces off the end boards. Thompson kind of overran it. It goes into the stick of Logan Fletcher, whose path to the net was taken away. And then Dudemaine, an active stick to get in the way of the shot from Ty Stainhouse. Stainhouse back pressuring there on Begley. Bounced out of his stick, but straight to Dudemaine.
Nice play on the back end there by Kyle Kerrigan. Making a good loose ball play to keep Steinhaus off the ball, get it going back for the Mimico power play.
Thompson from the outside. Lee setting a big screen in front, trying to open that shot. It is taken, and Vagno with the save over the shoulder from Thompson again. Vagno takes away both, but it's another 30 seconds. Thompson to Moran Weeks. Back to Dudemain.
Justin Lee's got a ton of room here.
He's got it now. Bounced off a stick to get it to him. Dudemain rips, and it's off the shoulder of Vagno, who then covers the rebound. Told you this is the first start in 3 games for Oliver Vagno, and quite the bounce back performance. Still 16 minutes left to go, though. Armstrong comes in, perhaps a little high. Roussel with another hit. Steinhaus standing in the box.
Another good play by Kerrigan there, securing the loose ball for Mimico. 2 good loose ball plays here, and he'll get them one more look. Roussel's been really good on the kind of the ride or the forecheck, if you will, throughout this whole game.
No look pass from Dudemain to Lee. Faked the shot. Dudemain gets the rebound and scores.
Again, stuff that's not going to show up in the box score. I think it's Dudemain and Roussel that caused this turnover on the clear. Earns one more power play possession. Pretty sick little look here from Lee. Just misses it, and then Dudemain picks up the loose ball and for sure hits the bottom left pipe. I think it might have even gone double pipe. As clean of a shot as you're going to see there from Dudemain. A good little celly after that, too.
4 goals, 5 assists on the night for Lucas Dudemain. And early movement on Mimico's side on the face-off. Nearly a hidden ball play off the pickup as Noah Snyder went out with a head of steam. Here's Steinhaus again. Snyder set the screen. Comes up top, Howard. Most recent goal scorer, tied it on the power play. Wheeling over the top, Armitage didn't miss by much. Mimico players slow to get up over on the far side. Tavares has it across center. Took a couple extra whacks. That might be Aaron Taguri that goes off slow. Would be a big loss on the back end for Mimico if that's the case. Shakes off the trainer, however. Isaiah Moran Weeks, 10 on the shot clock. As he gives to Waters, floats one towards the net, and Vagno there, all close to the over and back, or the back in, excuse me. But Julian Race does have it to clear center. For Zachary Toll. 7 points for Toll on the night. Back and forth, they pass the ball, and then just missed the shot at the back end. Kerrigan to Lucy. Bagley trying to push. He'll slow it down, wait for Justin Lee. Thompson walking his way onto the floor, as is Moran Weeks and Waters. Lee faked it. Thompson, now Waters. Moran Weeks in the corner. Thompson got past everybody, cutting to the crease late in the shot clock. Moran Weeks gets a bouncer and then got filled in. And it's going to be a penalty. They're going to call it on Ethan Fisher. High stick is the call.
See him shoot here. High and late. Nick Casello's special times too there. I think that's going to get called most times.
2 minutes for high sticking, time of the penalty, 6:12. Fans at this time, please get up your 50-50 ticket stubs.
Ocella's almost got a hat trick in this game. Thompson behind the net, back, he bounces it in. Woo!
If you're holding ticket number 48780.
This is very well done by Mimico. It's going to go Thompson, Roussel, Waters, Thompson. Actually, I think that was Dudemain on the feed, but a great job of using the X-Man. Obviously, you can't dunk, but it still gets the defense to turn their heads. I think it drew just enough attention from the man where Thompson ended up scoring from that opened him up as he inches closer to that Mimico record.
Came in 6 points away. That goal gives him a hat trick and 5 points. Zavitz, meanwhile, down floor off Whittam. Dudemain with his 10th point of the night. 6 assists and 4 goals on 11 from Mimico. Thompson's next point will tie for the all-time Mimico record. Lee slows it down, gives to Roussel. Thompson on the crease. Waters goes down into the corner, and big hit there, knocked down Fear.
Bad bounce from Mimico there. That was a set play, something every NLL team has in the book. Pick-to-picker action there was set up for Finn the whole way. Just a little bit too aggressive on the pick.
Howard back for Lefebvre. He'll go over the top. Lot of movement through the middle. Comes back for Armitage. He wants to take it to the crease and pushed into that blue turf. Never touched any part of it, but remember, it's a cylinder rule here in the OJLL. 42-40 the shots. Favoring Mimico, those extra 2 are the difference right now. 11-9 as Moran Weeks has it. Last man into the set is Dudemain. On the crease, Finn Thompson. Off the shoulder of Vagno, but Stein's there to control the loose ball. Big collision through the middle. Bigger save perhaps from Vagno. Lucas Billing down floor. 2-on-1 St. Catharines. Fisher wanted him to shoot. Ended up passing. And Ethan Fisher's got it back, shrugs off his man. Excuse me, that's Colin French, who's still involved on the far side. And interference is going to be the call. I think he looked up like he was getting a penalty, but...
Temperature in this game has been cranked up in these last few minutes. Some physical plays, both sides. Thompson going back on that last shift, so he'll be out for this one. Gut check time here after a long road trip for Mimico. Some tired legs maybe setting in, but this is obviously winning time.
Here's Waters. Mimico with a player in the crease, and Moran Weeks couldn't clear out in time before that shot.
Boy, Moran Weeks has gotten crushed here like 3 times in the last 5 minutes. Credit to him, like I've said throughout the broadcast, a very impactful player for these Mountaineers, even when he's not scoring. Credit for him for continuing to do dirty work, even though he's getting crushed.
Lefebvre, cross floor. Big hard shot there from Snyder. He'll go back over to the right side where Toll tries a bouncer. Just missed. Lefebvre can't climb the ladder to bring it down. McIsaac out for Vincent, and it's the 2 of them who will come in on Ari Steinhaus. McIsaac down low, and Vagno makes the save.
Pretty good D there by Ari Steinhaus, just slow playing that as much as he could. In theory, you'd rather let Vincent shoot that on his offside, but did a really good job of kind of making that pass hard, making it a bad angle. Nice job there on defense.
Lefebvre, the big swim move, halfway through the shot clock. 10 seconds away from the midway mark of the third, walks in and then get drilled after. Man, these late hits have been called all game long, and this one comes at a bad time for Mimico.
I think that's the hat trick, Matty, the Nico Hasello special hat trick. High and late.
He's in line for player of the game, I think. Here it is.
Lefebvre's just slippery going to the net. Sorry to cut you off there, Matty.
No. There,
That's a penalty. That's what they call in any league. That's a penalty in any league.
9:54.
So they'll set up again. Cross here, Howard. Down into the corner. Up top, Toll. Whittam was stepping out, I think, even before Toll wound up that shot. Toll sets a big screen. Opens a shot for Zavitz, who puts it into the screening. And Mimico will take over with 1:30 left in their penalty. A high sticking call against Cole Begley.
Mimico had too many players on the floor there.
Here's Taguri running in off the bar. First off, good to see him back on the floor after we saw him go off, but steps up in transition and finds iron.
He's great. He's really one of the most impactful players, I think, on this Mimico team. One of the better defenders you're going to see in the OJLL. Plays his college ball at Jacksonville. His older brother, Josh, was a teammate of mine in Mimico. They just play the game the right way, and he's been doing that all night. Plays a top brand of lacrosse. Is absolutely no fun to play against. Almost gets rewarded there.
Here comes Steins on the run. His shot wide. You don't earn the name Pitbull by doing nothing. Down floor. What a pickup, turn and fire.
Wow.
Whittam the save on Noah Simpson. Meanwhile, back the other way, Steins look out off the bench as Logan Fletcher was lining up a big hit.
Good little lesson for Steins there. Like we mentioned, American guy getting used to the box game. That's a dangerous area right off the D door of the other team's gate.
That had wrong kind of highlight written all over it.
No doubt.
Here's Steins coming out of the corner. Him and Fletcher do meet for real this time. Moran Weeks will knock his man off the ball, and shot clock has sounded as Moran Weeks perhaps some frustration as he gives a little parting shot to Ari Steinhaus. Dying seconds of the penalty.
St. Catharines got to be careful of the Begley coming out of the box here.
Zavitz to the corner. Captain gets it back. Steinhaus, defender had fallen in front. Then the shot goes off the foot of Dudamy. Rolls right back to Zavitz, who's only got a couple seconds to shoot. Lets one fly right in the midsection of Whittam. And it's picked up by Kerrigan.
Another nice loose ball there by Kerrigan. He's had a bunch of those in this game. And a good clear to boot, going for the Happy Meal.
Wrap check from Zavitz, couldn't take it away. And just denied at the tail end.
Pretty good shot, actually. We had a good look at that one. Looked like he had a good angle on that bottom right corner. Not quite enough time to start looking at the clock, but you know, we're starting to get to that time in the game here.
7.5 to go. Remember, St. Catharines out of timeouts here in the third period as well, as Steve Toll's taken both of his. Over to the far side, Waters. Big high step, shot wide of the net. 10 left on Mimico's shot clock. Will this get? And, well, it goes up and over the glass. I was wondering if it's going to get to center. They're going to give this to St. Catharines. Pardon me, Mimico, as Thompson has it. Cross there for Waters, who brings it down. Big screen in front, Capinetti. From the outside, the shot. Waters, Lee got a couple extra chops. These two are sick of facing each other within, what, a week and a half, maybe 6 days or so. Noah Snyder. Cutting through Lefebvre. Cut back, and then just as it comes down, Vincent got drilled. Was it enough to reset the shot clock? Yes, it was. Fresh 30 here, St. Catharines. Toll steps into a skip shot that Whittam saves. Ball carrier tied up, had fallen. Toll picks it back up. Overrun by Howard. What a pass to find Armitage on the crease, who scores. What a sequence for St. Catharines.
Again, Matty, when there's ground balls, loose balls in the offensive zone, it's a great time to score. See, St. Catharines kind of has a couple looks at this thing, but it ends with a sick pass from Zach Toll to kind of scoop the ball up and throw it behind the back all in one motion. Ground balls equal goals. Loose balls equal goals in that offensive zone. We've seen that time and time again. And we've also seen a lot of good forechecks of riding back the ball and that leading directly to goals.
6 to play in the third. We're back to a 1-goal game. Armitage first of the game as this ball is going to bounce around. Toll's got another point. Give him 8 on the night. Shots even at 47. 11-10 Mimico with 5.5 to play. Lee, the hidden ball play to Waters. He'll give across to Thompson. Into the corner. Steins. Back across floor. Waters and a moving screen through the middle. Takes it away. Julian Race slows down. Lee on the bench slams his stick in disagreement with the call, but Toll has it. Already an 8-point night for the young rookie. Back to the near side, Lefebvre. Meanwhile, graduating senior, couple stutter steps before he got knocked down. Lucas Dudemain. How about a 10-point night for number 24? He'll give to Thompson, already with a hat trick. Down in the corner, Roussel. Lee sets the screen, ball to the far side, big high step, Waters. Bounces off the end boards, Roussel brings it back down, under 10 on the shot clock. Dudemain with it one-handed, finds Lee, who nearly brought it down. Miscommunication between him and Waters, and a big tie-up down on the carpet. As Lee got taken down, late shot doesn't count. And we'll go back the other way with just over 4 to play.
It turned into a really outstanding lacrosse game. A lot of physical play. You know, expect them to probably swallow the whistles here the last 5 as St. Catharines looks to tie it up.
Carson Robbins passes to Zavitz. Here's Howard now. Around a screen, that bounce shot didn't miss by much. Races on between McDonnell and Toll. Angus McDonnell down to a knee. He wanted the call. Wanted a quick restart before that, I think, too, but batting 0 for 2, he decides to head off. Finn Thompson. Always dangerous. Top spot, sidearm shot off the shoulder of Vagno down in the corner. Roussel with it. Thompson gonna set the screen. Shot clock does reset. Dudemain into the corner. High shot, Campanitti. Look at all the tape on the legs of Campanitti. I mean, we're only week 3 of the OJLL season.
Too early to start just kind of killing the clock, but if you're Mimico, you want to work some of these 30s here. Definitely limit how many possessions the Athletics are going to get.
Lefebvre looking for French. French had gone for a cut and unable to get out cleanly. We're either McDonnell. Here's Vincent. Thompson already on the floor asking his Syracuse teammate to slow things down. Here's Dudemain and Waters inside of 3 to go. Justin Lee and now Signs. Over the top, Waters into the corner, cutting back door was Lee. Couldn't find it with a pass. Signs gets there. Thompson, can he release in time? The answer is no.
That was that same set play I was talking about earlier, run basically to perfection. They get Lee singled up on the backside, just not able to finish it. Mimico gets one more. It's going to get tough. St. Catharines continuing to work hard here.
Armitage coming alive late in this game. Howard out to the far side. Return pass over top of Howard. Will bounce right into the stick of a Mimico player. It's Angus McDonnell who gets it up to Taguri at center. Toll yelling at the official. I'm not sure what that was about as they came across the timeline. Moran Weeks and Dudemain. Last one out is Campanitti. Inside the 2-minute warning. Only timeout left is on the side of Mimico. Thompson over the top, around a screen. He'll leave it here for Steins, who goes to the net, cut back and shot wide. Dudemain's low shot soaked off the leg of Noah Simpson.
Good eat by Simpson, don't rub it.
Christian Lefebvre. He'll flip it to French. Vagno still in the net as French comes across the floor to Carson Robbins. He'll slam the brakes. Lefebvre to Robbins, all alone, cuts back, and then the double team arrives on scene. Had all kinds of time and space, and then didn't, and they're going to argue over the loose ball. All of this on St. Catharines' shot clock, which is now going to run out with 1:13 left to go in regulation.
That's it. That's an Aaron Segura impact play there. Him and Vincent squeeze that double team, gets his chest over the ball, wins the battle of positioning over the loose ball, lets the clock run out. That's a good example of a good play by him and Vincent there at the end of that shift.
Thompson's lost the glove, has to go back and pick it up. Lee here goes far side. Brought down by Dudamy. Pass intended for Thompson. Good catch by Toll. He's calling Vagno. And thought he was going to wait for Vagno to get there, make the change before he threw the ball back in.
6 on 5. As you mentioned, no timeouts here. This is obviously the trade-off.
Howard.
They need one more guy.
Cross for Toll. Here he comes. It's going to be French. Coming in a bit late, though, as there's just now 10 to go. Armitage, back for Toll. That one's blocked. Aiden McDonnell, French, looking for it, as is Toll. Low shot, hits Whittam. Rebound rolls out, and did Tavares go back in? Yes, he did. St. Catharines with another chance with 17 to go. Howard into the corner, Lefebvre. Back up top, Armitage. Stainhouse now the extra attacker on. Comes back up to Lefebvre. Back out. Turning, firing Howard. Picked off by Whittam. He's got time in an empty net. Couple bounces down floor. Nate Whittam just over the top. But they're not going to need it as Mimico stay perfect with an 11-10 victory.
Final score.
What a game.
Mimico 11, St. Catharines 10.
St. Catharines did everything they could there. Got a good look. Whittam just steps out and makes that last save. Misses that empty netter, by the way, by not much whatsoever. Good look at the end for St. Catharines. For St. Catharines, you got to find a way to take a positive out of this game. You've showed you can play with one of the two best teams so far this year in the OJLL, and you don't have to see either of the two best teams again for the rest of the year. So, it's looking up for the Athletics. Obviously, you never want to lose, but they have lots of time to make up ground here in the standings.
11-10 your final. Mimico improved to 5-0 on the season. A reminder to subscribe to the channel where we'll be live all season long for your OJLL Game of the Week, and download the official Ontario Junior Lacrosse League app for all your standings, scores, stats, and the entire OJLL schedule. On behalf of my partner Jonathan Donville, Gary Morrison, the JVI Sports Network, Colleen Grimes, and the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, I've been Matthew Carrick. Thank you for tuning in. Mimico win 11-10, and that'll do it from here in St. Catharines. Have a good night. We'll talk to you next time.
Place of poison.